Sam and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Juliana and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, my name is Allison.
Hi, my name is Gabriella.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a sophomore.
Body positivity to me is all about self-love and self-esteem, how much self-love you have for yourself and your confidence in how you present yourself to others.
Body positivity to me is just being comfortable in your own skin and being able to express yourself without just constantly thinking about your body in relationship to others.
I think body positivity to me is accepting and loving yourself for who you are. And I know that's easier said than done, but I feel like the road to truly knowing who you are is accepting who you are at first.
To me, body positivity is about feeling good about yourself, not necessarily how you look, but when you feel good and you feel comfortable and strong.
It means empowering other people and also accepting that there are different body types and that's okay.
I definitely think being skinnier, just because, with this generation, like living in America and, honestly, a lot of places, I think there's a huge emphasis on models being very thin and petite. And I just think that because it's so ingrained in our culture, that's why it affects me more than other beauty standards.
I'd probably make myself a few inches shorter because it's very awkward being taller than most adults. I'm 5'9.5", and it's good for the sport I play, which is volleyball, but I feel like in social settings I feel very out of place. And I'd also change this ridge on my nose. I have no idea why it's there. I think it's from getting hit in the face with volleyballs a few times, but I just feel like it messes up my side profile.
I feel pretty comfortable and confident. Sometimes if I look at other people, I'm like, oh, I wish I had skinnier thighs or just looked more like Instagram influencer skinny kind of thing. But overall, I'm pretty, I love how I look and I'm proud of it.
I wish I had more weight so that I would have more curves.
For me, I definitely have more curves than most girls. I'm definitely thicker, especially when playing a sport like volleyball. Everyone around you is more toned and muscular, so I think I'd want to change my build to have more muscle and be more toned.
I have a love-hate relationship with my height. I like that I'm tall because of the sport I play, volleyball, that I can really get up on the net, and I like that because I play sports that I'm strong and that I don't really have to worry about getting hurt as much.
How strong I am from sports. I'm a distance runner and I have a lot of endurance, and just being physically active, and that makes me feel good and healthy and energetic.
Probably my height, because I think I'm a good height because I'm not too short and I'm not too tall.
I love how unique I look. I don't really look like everyone else. I'm not like the typical, I don't want to say right. No, that's bad. Okay. I don't look like the typical model or people that you see on the media. So I think all my features are pretty unique.
I would say probably my eyes, just because they're windows to your soul.
I developed self-confidence from trying to be healthy and from switching to running from my past sport of gymnastics. It gave me a lot of anxiety, and I lost a lot of confidence when I got scared of doing a skill that I had been doing for 3 years. But when I switched to running, I felt really good, and I wasn't nervous to run, it's just running. And also from progressing and getting better at my sport, it helped me feel really proud of myself.
Probably by seeing and watching other people with similar body types who can pull it off really well or have confidence with it.
I got my self-confidence from not really comparing myself. That was the thing I used to do a lot, is compare myself to other people. Whenever I saw someone wearing something, I'm like, oh, that's cute, but I could never fit into it. So I think I was just trying to block out those thoughts a lot, and mainly just be, yeah, she's wearing that and that's really cute, but I'm wearing this dress and that fits me well and I look good in this too.
So I developed self-confidence just because I realized that, you know, marketers in the beauty industry make you think that you need to attain perfection just to feel validated, but all of these beauty standards are so arbitrary if you really look into them. And I think just realizing that made me develop more self-confidence.
You know, I'm still kind of working on it, I'll be honest. But for me, I feel like I just have to realize that not all our standards of beauty are attainable or even possible. And I feel like those unrealistic standards are really what fed into my insecurities. And I feel like those insecurities aren't necessary once I learned that, like, having the perfect body is not something to aspire to.
Social media, because the people who get famous are the people who set the beauty standard, and it's really hard to live up to that. And also there's a lot of Photoshop, which creates unrealistic expectations.
I think what affects people most is social media, especially when there's stuff called hype and influencers. It really praises a certain body type and body look that girls just see repetitively, like on repeat. And if you see that and you think, oh, that's not really me, or I don't really look like that, but you see boys and girls praising like this one body, you can't help but feel, oh shoot, like I don't look like that, I'm not getting praised, I need to change to look like that.
I think social media is a huge thing. On TikTok, you know, there are those really skinny dancers who are generally, you know, who are generally white, and I think, you know, it's harmful when people are just exposed to one certain type of, like, one certain group of people, because it makes them just feel more vulnerable if they don't have all of those certain physical attributes.
Definitely social media. I feel like people don't know how much Photoshop and Facetune and airbrushing goes into that image of the perfect body, or, you know, the perfect face. I feel like the image of beauty that we have today is unattainable. Like, you can't have double D's, a 15-inch waist, and a big butt. That's not physically possible. And I feel like people need to know that people who have that sort of physique have plastic surgery, or that is photoshopped. And, like, the amount of just fakeness in the world is astounding. And I feel like the line between real and digitally edited is not as clear as it used to be.
Definitely social media and influencers, and they're portraying this image that they're so skinny but they're healthy at the same time, and I really don't think it's a realistic image of what most people look like. And also just people around school, I think, affects a lot of young girls, and skinny people around, and just showing off, like, there's no problem in showing off what you look like, but I think a lot of people compare themselves to others, and that can definitely bring you down if it's all that you think about.
What affects my body positivity is actually Pinterest. A lot of times people share pins and different pictures from Visco and Pinterest of what the perfect life looks like and what living life is. Whether it's these friends going to the beach or going to a drive-in, they tend to have like the same body type. They all look super happy, and if it's like this idealistic life, so it's like, oh, if you don't look like that, or you don't have that kind of life, you can't help but feel bad about yourself, like I should be doing something more or better.
You know, I think it's also social media. I think that's a huge thing. You know, just looking through Instagram and seeing all of these people who are skinnier, are prettier, and just comparing yourself, I think that's something that affects me, and I think that's something that affects pretty much everyone.
Say it's just one thing, really. I feel like it's just 1,000 little things every day. I mean, when I see those models on TV with their, their perfectness and all, it just makes me feel less about myself. Or those just offhanded comments people make, like, wow, why is she so tall? Or wow, I don't know what I would do if I ever would be that tall. And it maybe is not mean in a sense, but it does impact me.
I think it kind of drops a little bit when I eat too much, or if I eat a big meal and then I just don't feel good about myself. But then I also, my body confidence goes up when I work out and I feel good and I feel really strong and healthy and energized too.
When people comment on my weight and how flat I am, and that makes me kind of insecure.
What I like to do is just to give people compliments, just because even if people seem like the most secure people in the world, everyone's insecure at the core. I think, when you look at social media and you see these people that you compare yourself to, you might think that they're perfect in your eyes and that they meet all the beauty standards, but there's always something that someone's insecure about. So I think just even giving someone a nice compliment about their shirt, or something about the way they look, or anything really, is a nice thing to do.
I think acknowledging the fact that everyone has their own insecurities is a big first step, and that no one is completely self-confident in their body image. And I feel like just encouraging people to try to push through their insecurities is good, but again, you can't just tell someone get over it and then they'll magically not be insecure anymore. I feel like you really need to be there for each other and encourage each other, especially in this day and age.
I try to encourage people, and if someone says something bad about themselves, I tell them, no, that's not true. You need to love who you are and know that you're strong and you're healthy and things like that.
Just empowering the people around me and complimenting them and making them feel okay in their body.
One thing I focused on was not saying anything to myself that I wouldn't say to others, and I think I kind of caught my friends doing that too. For example, I wouldn't say, oh my gosh, I failed that test, I'm so stupid. I wouldn't say that to anyone else, saying, oh my gosh, you failed that test, you're so stupid. So when my friends say that, I'm like, no, you're not stupid, you just had a bad test, you can come back from the next one. And it's just kind of catching them in the process to not let them go down this bad hill of just negative self-talk.
I haven't really fully accept and love myself. I think I tell myself that everyone's different, and that different isn't something to be afraid of, it's something to embrace. And I feel like once you really embrace that this is what you're gonna look like and you're not gonna change, and that you're fine just the way you are. I mean, there is no perfectness in this world. Everything is different, and it's beautiful that way.
Like I said before, from sports and changing to a sport that I really truly loved, and surrounding myself with people that are there to encourage me, and just the atmosphere of my sport, it's really helped me. And also being more responsible with what I eat and knowing what will make me feel good has helped me a lot.
Finding clothes was difficult, so the biggest obstacle was finding the clothes that fit me right and make me feel the most confident, also accentuate my body the right way.
I think the biggest obstacle I had to come over was talking bad about myself to me. There was a saying that's for every one bad thought you need to have 10 good thoughts. So I think I needed to finally accept myself and be like, no, I'm not fat, I don't look bad in that. Because every single time you see that picture of yourself and you're like, oh, I look really ugly in that, it's letting those thoughts in, and they're always going to stay there, whether you say them to someone else or whether you think about that, whether you think about that about someone else or you think that about yourself. It's just letting those thoughts in, and it's really hard to counteract them. So I just had to if I saw myself being like, oh, I look fat in that, like I'm like, no, I do not look fat in that, I just don't look my best. So it's really just changing your mindset on how you see yourself.
So I think an obstacle I've had to overcome is just facing the beauty standards as an Asian American, because as an American, you know, I'm supposed to be toned and tan and sexy, but as an Asian, there are opposite beauty standards. Like you're still supposed to be slender, but you're also supposed to be pale and cute. And, you know, I just think that realizing how they're so different, I think that's something that's helped me like get through like a lack of self-confidence, just because you realize how people just make up these beauty standards. Like something that's praised in America is looked down upon in Asia. I mean, like here, you know, it's nice to be tan, it's nice to be golden brown, but you know, in Asia there's a lot of skin bleaching and people always want to look paler. So I think just realizing that is really helpful.
I think something else that also helps body positivity too is a lot of self-love and self-care. You have to remember that at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. So you gotta take care of yourself the most and really love yourself when no one else will. So just making time for yourself to do stuff you love, like to read and put on face masks and to do a bubble bath. It's just really important to do those little things to make sure that you can build up a lot of self-love for yourself. And remember, you are unique.
Your body is not a problem to be solved.
Just remember, everyone,